What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ICNV Driver's Edition. And today we get into an interesting conversation because I know a lot of you have been reaching out to me on the sidelines. I've sent a couple of videos. Actually, I've posted a video. Corvettes are being stolen. And we had this conversation about 2 years ago, I want to believe. Many of you may have not seen it, but I'm going to go over a couple things with you because the worst thing you want to do is come back to a parking spot and your car is gone. But that's not really what's happening. Well, kind of it is, but Zeus is right there. So we have not lost Zeus yet. And I'm gonna go over a couple things you can do to help prevent your Corvette from getting stolen. There's a lot of myths, a lot of misconceptions out there, but we're gonna cover it all because every option isn't a good option, or maybe it's not the most logical and best option. Let's put it that way. But either way, let's talk about how to prevent your Corvette from being stolen, and let's get behind the wheels of Zeus. Listen to this cold start. Okay, we are in the car, and I am going to say this. Let's get through the formalities. My name is Sho. This is ICNV Driver's Edition. We are an interactive car community, which means if you hit me up on any one of my social media platforms, I will do my best to respond. And if the topic you bring up is interesting enough, I will shoot a video on it. This topic is one of those topics. I've had a couple of you reach out to me asking me, have I heard about the recent increase in Corvette thefts, or what can I do to prevent my Corvette from being stolen? This information has come across quite frequently, but I want to be honest with you, this has almost turned out to be a predominantly C7 issue, but the C8 can be affected as well. So I'm gonna sit back and give you a couple of my ideas as what you can do to prevent your Corvette from being stolen. Now, I did mention over a year ago, my boy Swole, he installed a throttle commander on his car. And I was thinking about actually installing one on Zeus. I just never got around to it because I started doing some research trying to figure out which one was the best option. And somewhere along the line, I just kind of fell off from the topic. But I do know as of recently, and part of the reason why I'm having this conversation is that many suggestions have come out about what you can do to possibly prevent your car from being stolen. Well, the throttle command option is a viable option. The thing with the throttle control option is, I will say this: you can kill the ignition or the throttle startup, however they want to say, I don't know the precise parts of it, but you can kill it from actually letting the throttle give gas to the car, which won't allow it to start up, and so forth. It is a very nice feature and a nice option. Do I think it is the best option on the market? My answer for you is no. And the reason why I say no is because when somebody is out to steal your car, the smallest mishap is not going to prevent them from stealing your car. And I want you to let that sink in. If you do lock out your car based off a throttle control module, there's this belief, or maybe it's multiple people, that they are doing something wrong when they're trying to steal his car. Or because things aren't that bright, they may keep coming back trying to steal the car. And this is a problem. Thieves have YouTube as well. The reason I point this out is because most people make videos of installing the throttle commander. And when they install the throttle commander, They show where they actually hide it, or where the connection actually takes place to make the throttle commander work. So with this information being so readily available on YouTube, most thieves, when they come back, because they typically do come back, when they come back, the first place they try to disarm the system is the most common place it's actually connected or installed. And I'm not saying they know the throttle commander is on there, but it's a process or a check that they're going through. Because how they are stealing the cars is they are trying to clone a key and make the car believe there is a key inside the car through a device that they actually plug into your diagnostic port inside your car. So they're already spending time in the car trying to get the car started. And the thing that wasn't displayed in the video where the car was being stolen at the Joliet dealership was they attempted this with about 3 or 4 Corvettes that they could not steal. So even the device itself or the system they were using to steal the car wasn't perfect on every vehicle that was on the lot. There is a system you can put in your car where you have to get in the car before you start it. Just for an example, hit the volume up, cruise control once, down on the cruise control set button, then hit another button, and then the car will start up. It's called a sequence start. The sequence start has become real popular in the Mopar community, meaning that it's installed on a lot of Dodge SRT vehicles, made primarily the Hellcats. The sequence start is a system that's designed to not let your vehicle start without actually going through a sequence of button commands that gives it a code that says it's okay for the vehicle to start. And the best way I can explain it to you is like this. First of all, I have a friend that has a SRT Challenger, and his car was broken into and they tried to steal it. Now, he installed something on his car, I think it's an ignition lock or some type of code you got to put in to get the car started based off the steering wheel controls. I've actually touched base about this before, and that was one of my key suggestions to help preventing your car from getting stolen. But what ended up happening is the thief that keeps trying to steal his car, I guess he hasn't realized it's a combination that's locking him out. So there's this belief, or maybe it's multiple people, that they are doing something wrong when they're trying to steal his car. So his car has actually been broken into 4 times. They've tried to steal this car 4 times and they keep failing. Because thieves aren't that bright, they may keep coming back trying to steal the car. And this is a problem because, like I said, referring back to my friend, they broke into his car, they busted the window, got into the car, tried to start the car, it didn't work, and they left. He came home, found the car broken up. He took it to the repair shop, claimed an insurance claim on it, they fixed it. 2 weeks after getting the car back, they did it again. He found another insurance claim, they fixed it. 1 week after getting the car back, they did it again. And so, I want you to understand, they broke into his car 4 times trying to steal it. And they have not been successful. And you can get that on your car. I know a lot of Mopar owners that have that on their car, and their logic behind it, just like my friend with the SRT, is that I would rather come outside and have to repair my car than my car actually being stolen. Now, after 4 break-ins, I don't know if that's still his philosophy, but it's a true statement. The car is still sitting there, and he just had to repair it 4 times. But then we had a conversation. And my conversation is the same conversation I want to have with you all. Let's take a quick break and do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Help me reach my goal of 25 before 25, which is 2,500 subscribers before the year 2025. We're chasing the movement, be part of it. Join the channel, especially if you like the content you've seen so far. We have more stuff like this coming your way, and you too can help guide the focus of the content that comes your way. So subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. What's the most effective way to keep your car from being stolen? I've heard people sit there and say, hey, put the club on the car. So he did stick the club on the car. Now, do I think you cannot steal the car with the club on it? It can be stolen, but it's another factor of deterrent because most people or most thieves see the club sticking up, so they feel like it's another extra layer of security or another obstacle they have to overcome. But the fourth time, they still tried to steal the car. So even the club didn't work. And I know a lot of older guys have sat there and said, well, I'm going to put the club on it or the brake lockout or so forth. That is a good option, but I want to tell you something. A true thief or somebody determined to get your car, those things are only slowdowns. They don't fix the problem. And that's what I want people to understand. There are a lot of features you can do to your car to delay the inevitable or slow down or stop the process, but it doesn't really stop your car from being stolen. But what I'm really starting to recognize, or we're going to get back around to, is what's the most effective way to keep your car from being stolen is a good old-fashioned remote control alarm system that we used to have in the 90s. I went by my friend's shop. He has a sound shop, and what he actually came out and said is the sale of car alarms are starting to go back up. And part of the reason they're starting to go back up is because it's the most effective deterrent. And that's the key word, deterrent from your car getting stolen. I say this because a lot of cars or people whose cars are getting stolen, they are actually being broken into first. Meaning that they're either opening the door, breaking a window, but there is some way, shape, form, or whatever, they are trying to get into your car first. A common way most cars and most Corvettes are being stolen, especially in the video I showed you, is the person getting in the car is trying to clone the key or reconfigure the car to read another key as if the key is in the car so they can start it up and leave. So when we first had this conversation, I sat there and told the people the quickest way to prevent your car from being stolen is to go into the factory settings and turn off the passive entry. Many of you are going to say, what is the passive entry? The passive entry into your car, or the passive system, is when you walk up to your car and it automatically unlocks the door without you touching your key fob. That means your car is always searching for a signal, and your remote control is always giving off a signal, letting your car know you are here. But when you turn off that feature, you literally have to grab your remote control and hit the unlock button for the car to unlock. Now, this was very effective until I learned a little bit more how people steal in the cars. And I say it's effective because what ended up happening by doing this is a lot of the cars that were originally being stolen, they were creating a huge antenna, and they were using the antenna to scale your house or to make the car think it was closer to the remote control than it actually was. Without breaking into the car, this was a successful method. Meaning just using the passive entry to get into the car, then shifting the position of the antenna closer to the driver's wheel, and now all of a sudden it thought the key was in the car, it started up and took off. I'm not sure about the C7, but the C8 does give you the ability, in case you didn't know, and maybe I shouldn't be releasing this information, but it's already been released before by a well-known YouTuber in the Corvette world, is that if you leave your key at home, you can restart the Corvette twice without the key actually in it if you drive off with the key started, or the car started, should I say, and the key was used to start it. So All they got to do is get the car started by your house and they can leave with your car. So when I said turn off the passive entry, if they broke the window to get in the car, or pried the door open, or use some other way, shape, form to get inside the car, doing the same antenna method actually worked to start the car. So, like I said, it was a very nice suggestion, and I still recommend it for most people because not everyone has a key cloning device. Many people do, but not everyone does. But when you look at the factor of going back to the basic old school alarm system, the reason why I say this is now probably the best option for a theft deterrent is because all these other methods that people are suggesting to you, there is no sound, display, warning light, anything to alert you that your car is being messed with. And to me, that is a key factor in keeping your car safe. When there is no alarm, alert sound, or anything to notify anyone in the area that this car is being tampered with, it gives the thief longer time or a more comfortable environment to operate in and try to figure out how to steal your car. Like I sat there and said, with all the pedal situations or the throttle commanders, thieves have YouTube. Most people understand or know how a throttle commander works, that you just plug it in at the acceleration pad on the car. It's the same way or form of entry for every car I've ever seen a throttle command added to. So if you figuring out you can't get the car started, all you'll do is just remove the little small box that's actually enabling the starter command to work. Like I said, thieves have YouTube too. So if you think about that, if they break in the car the first time and can't get it working, if they come back a second time, trust me, 9 times out of 10, that will be the first thing that they try. So why would you want to give a thief an opportunity to figure out how to get your car? I suggest the alarm system again, because most alarm systems had a shock sensor on it, meaning any type of vibration triggered off the alarm and the alarm went off. I think that is the best theft deterrent, because now if you hear your car alarm or anyone hears the car alarm, it draws attention to the car. And if you down check on your car, it gives you a chance to, I guess, notify the authorities, try to stop it yourself or whatever, or even just let the assailant, the thief, run and get away knowing that your car has some form of protection system on it. I also like the alarm system because it also comes with an ignition cutoff. It kills the cutoff to your car, or the same thing, the throttle, but it actually kills the fuel injection to your car, so you can't start the car and just get gas access to the car. So when I stopped by my friend's shop, he explained to me that although a lot of people have often forgot about car alarm systems or the old-fashioned car alarm systems of the past, they are still relevant today. So let's just really finish this conversation up. The real thing is, when it comes to car alarms have better, I want to say, added security features. They have cutoffs so the car won't start. They actually have an alarm that sounds so you know someone's notifying or messing with your vehicle. And I think that's really the best option. Car alarms offer so many different ways to actually deter theft that it's not still a bad option today in 2024 or heading into 2025. There is no 100% way to make sure your car is never stolen, but there are ways and things you can do to make it harder for your car to be stolen. And if we go back to the options of the older days, we will realize that car alarms were the most effective ways. So if you install a car alarm on your car today, and you can find car alarms that will work with the technology on your cars, you stand a greater chance to prevent your car from being stolen. And if you think this isn't a true statement, when you talk to your dealership when you purchase a car, they still offer car alarms and tracking systems to get your car recovered today. So all I suggest to you is See what options you have out there and make the best decision that makes you comfortable. But if you ask me, if you truly want to prevent your car from being stolen, go ahead and take the extra mile and add a car alarm. I know there will be some inconvenience by doing so, but wouldn't you rather have to push an unlock button than come out and fill out a police report? Just my thoughts. ICNV Driver's Edition. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Driver's Edition community. Remember, we are an interactive community, which means if you hit me up on any one of my social media platforms or reach out in the comments below, I will do my best to respond. And if the topic you bring up is interesting enough, I will shoot a video on it, just like this one here. Now remember, we were all designed in his image, given dominion over the world, so we weren't just meant to be. So chase your dreams, build your visions, never give up, and embrace your own identity. It is okay to be unique. He's not done with you, and he's not done with me. So stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you in these streets. Peace.